Well, after a year of pandemic life, we are pretty much getting used to wearing masks. I think we've all gotten used to that by now, but it sure isn't easy, especially for people who have hearing loss. We have Regina Presley. She is a senior cochlear implant audiologist at GBMC. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. It was a long title. I wanted to make sure I got that right for you. It was like,
You did a great job.
Tell me, let's start out just by asking, how has the pandemic affected people with hearing loss?
So there are 50 million Americans with hearing loss. And so the Hearing Loss Association of America and Cochlear Limited recently did a survey. And what we're finding is that, as no surprise, is that with the mask covering up and muffling our voices, the distancing that we're experiencing, that people are really experiencing a significant increase in isolation and loneliness and anxiety from the use of masks.
That makes sense, especially if that's your means of communicating and then it's taken away. That can be extremely isolating. What suggestions do you have to improve communication so that this can be avoided?
So if you're doing face-to-face communication, I think one of the best things to do is, number one, make sure that you have the person's attention. So if you're in person, slowing down your rate of speech is great. And just being aware that you might need to talk a little bit louder behind a mask is always important. If you're doing virtual communication, which we all know we're doing now, that also is challenging. So in person and in virtual, you want to reduce the noise as much as possible around you. If you're on a group chat, make sure that people are muting their microphones or ask them politely to do that so only one person is speaking at a time. You can also add captioning to most of the virtual meeting platforms now, not all. But if not, you can download an app to your phone. They're free for real-time captioning. So if it's not on a platform, or even if you're at the grocery store and you want to be able to hear the cashier, you can use that app to help give you information as well.
It is amazing how much technology has helped and evolved. Years ago, I used to be a relay operator for the deaf. So I would do the TTY and I would type when I was in college. And to think that now there are apps that can just do that right away is really, really amazing and helpful. And it's something that we can all do. So even if we are not experiencing hearing loss, we want to make sure that we are being conscious of the people around us so that we are helping them so that they can communicate with us and vice versa more easily. I'm wondering, do you advise people to get their hearing checked if the first time that they're recognizing that they're having some hearing challenges is now with people wearing masks?
Absolutely. And I think that for people who may have had hearing loss or have had hearing loss and just really haven't been as aware because they've been relying on visual cues to help them along, I think it's really important right now. And you don't have to go to the doctor's office. You can do a hearing screening. So you can go to our webpage, which is gbmc.org/cochlear. You can go to your app store on your phone and download free hearing screening apps and do your own hearing test. And they're very accurate and can tell you whether or not you need to make that appointment to go in and be assessed by an audiologist.
All right, Regina Presley, thank you so much for all of that helpful information. Really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.